me deep in my despair to show me you would never leave me, babe. You claim me cause made for so much more. I am your child, and I'm worth for. Okay, what's up, everybody? Tell somebody the grind is on. What's up, YouTube? What's up? What's up, Blog Talk Radio? Blog Talk's coming up, getting ready to come up. Decided I'd come on a little early on Facebook, on YouTube. Let's go tell somebody the grind is on, man.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the grind, the factory for greatness, the process of success, where all excuses are denied. The only credit cards that are accepted here are blood, sweat, and tears. Welcome to the grind, the house of discipline. So we get it in every single day. We don't take days off. See, we understand here at the grind that success is not something that you achieve. It's something that you become. We refuse to settle for any other outcome than greatness. The reason we train ain't for some game, some event, for some trophy, for some medal. We train because this is our life. And this is all we know. We don't need an event to get ready. We stay ready. This is a lifestyle we live. Preparation is a weapon. And around here, we use that weapon every single day. 24/7, 365, all in, beast mode. Greatness is all we know. And now, we'd like to take this moment and welcome all of you to the grind. Anyone is welcome here. As long as they are willing to die for what they believe. Here at the factory, we don't produce people who accept participation trophies, who come in runner-up, who come in second place. All we produce here at the grind is champions. Around here, we don't accept anyone who even thinks that failure is an option. We don't accept anything other than greatness. We produce warriors who are hungry, dedicated, and fearless. And winning is all they know. Get your credit score. You can save all that yakking, all that talking. Because we're going to stack that credit score, and you're either going to get approved or denied. You can either take your dreams, or you can take the distractions. But you can't take both. Welcome to the grind. Focus. It's oxygen. And we starve the enemy. The only thing I see is my dreams. The only thing I am aware of is success. Champions aren't afraid of someone having the upper hand in the early rounds of a fight. Because they understand that this race is a marathon and not a sprint. Welcome to the grind. Discipline. It's the daily process of creating the life that you want. By consistently chiseling away at the things that don't belong. What you gotta do is stop complaining about your situation. And instead, change the thinking patterns that are allowing that situation to exist in your life in the first place. Now listen to me. There's no dream that can be denied manifestation as long as one is willing to be still mentally during the gestation period. Circumstances are born out of a consciousness that allows them to exist. You will eventually inherit the outcome equivalent to the belief system and mindset that you adopt. Let me sum it up. When an inner belief is consistently maintained, eventually the external environment adjusts to bring it about.
That was a hard one right there. That was a hard one right there. What's up, everybody, man? Welcome to the grind. Absolutely. The realest show ever. They say kings don't talk to peasants because when they talk to a peasant, the peasant automatically starts to think that they've done something worthy of being a king. Man. What's up, everybody? I hope that wasn't too harsh for you guys. That's called champion talk. That's what people do that get up in the morning and they ain't worried about hurting people's feelings with the truth. That's what a champion is. And more importantly, they're not worried about hurting their own feelings with the truth because they apply the truth to their very own lives first, man. What's poppin', everybody, man? Thank you for joining the grind. Thank you for tuning in. Guys, absolutely, this is the realest show ever. We are in a in a grind season as always. Turn this thing down a little bit. We are, as always, in a grind season. And guess what? As always, man, we're going to speak some truth. This morning, we're going to keep it 100. What's going on, Pam?
Great morning to everybody jumping on the grind. Happy Tuesday. Yes.
Pam running around here like a chicken with her head cut off. Literally.
I accomplished a lot in the last 6 hours.
Good 6 hours?
Right.
That's a long doggone time.
Right.
Tell her, I know you ain't been up since 3 o'clock. So let's just get on
in the
100.
last 3 hours, right? 4 hours. Let's say that. Right. But great morning to everybody on Blog Talk Radio. Great morning, Facebook. Let me get IG going. But great morning to each and every one of you. It's Tuesday. It is the last day of June.
Right.
The last day of June, y'all. Almost half the year is over. Another quarter is over. What have you done with it? Like, seriously.
That's scary.
Right.
It's scary if you haven't done anything with it.
2020, halfway over. Right?
Yeah, man.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, a lot has happened, over the course of the last 6 months. But here we are. We're alive. We're well. Where's my phone?
That I don't know. Would you like for me to look for it?
No, ma'am. No.
That I don't know. But anyway, you like my shirt? I got on my favorite shirt today.
My husband has an awesome.
Y'all like my shirt?
I can't hear. What is that? Extra small? I can't
y'all see all these mics in the way. Y'all like my shirt? My husband has an awesome wife. Don't you think so,
I
baby?
agree, baby. I agree. Yeah, it muted all of a sudden.
Okay. Thank you, Marla. Yes, he does. Thank you, Tiffany. But so anyway, we're waking up really just feeling absolutely amazing, just realizing that, that it for real is a season in which you really have to sit back and assess the situation, sit back and, see what you've been able to accomplish thus far, to celebrate, can't hear me? You still can't hear me? Can y'all hear me now? To celebrate, that which you've been able to accomplish, and to definitely realize and recognize and know that the best is absolutely yet to come. So how many of y'all are waking up on this Tuesday, realizing that, second quarter is really over, right? We're about to enter a new month. We're about to enter a new quarter. Half the year is over. And you really have to ask yourself, what have I been able to accomplish, over the last 6 months? Or have you been, the one that allowed the situations and the circumstances to, take you off your game to where you focus on the situations and the circumstances going on in the world? Or did you leverage this time to really advance yourself and to move yourself forward? Because, it's in these seasons in which we really have to understand that, you know what, time waits for no one, right? No matter what's going on in the world. Thank you so much. Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all. Yes, my husband does have an awesome wife. And and he agrees. So that's the best part about it, right, babes?
Absolutely.
Right. But you really have to ask yourself, you know, have I done, you know, what's necessary in order to thrust myself forward? But the greatest part about it is when you take the time to really look at life and to look at the things that you've been able to do, or maybe the things that you haven't done. Every day is a new day. And when you wake up with that type of energy, and you wake up with that type of fire, and you wake up with that type of mindset, knowing that, you know what, you for real have the power to shift, to shake, to change things by just moving differently and acting accordingly, and that you really can determine what happens next, right, babe?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I was just trying to post this because I couldn't find my phone.
Oh, okay. So you just not getting to that.
I know it was coming. I'm prepared for it. I didn't give it. I've given it to you before, so you give it to me.
I've been on. Let's see. We've been on calls. I've worked out. Don't worry about it. There's nothing that can stop a made up mind, for real. When you make up your mind to do something different, and you, from making up your mind, means that you won't allow any excuses to get in the way, right? And so a couple of weeks ago, I just realized that, you know what, sitting around in the house, obviously over the last 90 days, what have you, yeah, I did. I worked out, you know, every now and again, but I can say that I really wasn't committed to my exercise regimen, right? And so, you know, then there comes a time in which you say, you know what, no longer. I'm not going to do this anymore. And so a couple of weeks ago, maybe about 2 weeks ago, Nate actually sparked that momentum. You know, by saying, you know what, let's work out live for a couple of days. And we did that for a couple of days. And then I was looking at him like, hey, we're going to go live today. And Nate's like, no, I'm done with that. And I said, okay, well, you know, appreciate the energy to help me get going, to help me recommit to my goals and things like that nature. And you know what? I've been getting up and I've been doing it since that point, making sure that I'm exercising, you know, at least 5 days, like some serious exercise, and getting my cardio in, because the only way for real to change a situation is to make a decision to change the situation. And so when you decide to do it, decide means you cut it off. You allow no excuses, and commitment means that you've made a decision that you're going to deliver something, right? So what are you committed to, and what are you going to deliver as a result?
Yeah, I had to do something, man. She was just sitting around here. Just sitting around here and sitting around here and sitting around here.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm like, man, I got to one so she can get up.
And Nick
do something.
To have that happen. So he don't have to really do too much of nothing. You know, and he's good. He doesn't have to worry about gaining pounds. He doesn't have to worry about any of that stuff.
Well, you know,
but for your overall health.
Yeah. I mean, I do. I get a little fluffy around the middle if I don't do something,
you
know.
You get them love handles.
Yeah, I have to get them love handles. Ain't nothing like a slim man with some love handles, you know, right here looking all crazy, you know. But, you know, sometimes we carry things well, sometimes we don't. But when you look in the mirror at yourself, what do you see? Do you like what you see? Mm-hmm. That's the question. It's not about what other people say. It's do you like what you see? Right. You know, and I believe that's where it really is. So speaking of sparking things and doing something different, Pam did just say it is the second half officially. We're into the second half of the year almost. Tomorrow is the first, which will make it July, the 6th month, which would give us 30 days before the 7th month. You're right. The 7th month. So we are officially tomorrow into this that second half of the year. Absolutely. And yeah, so we all ask ourselves that question, you know, where will I be a year from now? And I believe it's one of the most thought-provoking questions that I've ever heard, you know, asking yourself, where will I be a year from now? And it kind of like puts some pressure on you to actually do something different, right? Because I know. I believe that like that, I think. That was bothering me, but I think myself better. Well, so just for the record, this is the actual part that you want to talk into. I kind of figured that because I could hear myself better. Yeah, let me put it over here for you. But I feel just awkward because I want my coffee and I'm like this. And, yeah. I can move that thing over some for you. But But nonetheless, man, this is, very thought provoking when you ask yourself, where will I be a year from now? And now you're 6 months into it. So you should be asking yourself, where will I be 6 months from now at this phase? Because everybody's going to start the year with a New Year's resolution, right? Or New Year's solution. And we're going to, work for that for 2 weeks. And it takes about 2 weeks for a quitter to really quit, right? It takes about 2 weeks. So that's when people start to quit, when the pain starts to happen. And the funny thing is people quit when the journey begins, because the journey doesn't start until pain shows up. All right. That's when the journey starts, man. And we have to understand certain dynamics in life and how things work. And, it's hard to understand them when you're not inserting yourself into those principles, right? If you work out, you're going to be sore. If you study, to show that self-approval, you're going to be tired, mentally drained a little bit. It's a sacrifice that you make. If you drink a lot of water, you're going to get full. I mean, it's always a cause and effect. It's always something that happens from what you do. But in what we're talking about, most of the time it's growth, right? We're always talking about growth on this show, because we believe that it is indeed the essence of life, right? Which is growth. If you're not growing, then you're remaining the same. So if you're remaining the same, then you're just here on earth to die.
Two choices: grow or die.
Right. Yours. Absolutely.
When it comes time to, success and everything.
So since we're talking about the second half, since we're talking about the second half of the year, I think it's relevant that we actually talk about our path moving forward. What's going on, Bishop? See you out there. My best friend, Bishop Jeff Battle, man. Me and that brother have some very thought-provoking conversations. Every time we get on the phone. So man, great to see you, my brother. Great to have you on. That brother has a show called The Cup. And I know that the pandemic has thrown a loop in that one, but I know it's coming back. Conversations with Uncompromised Pastor, but he ain't just your ordinary pastor. Trust me. Nope. So guys, let's talk about your runway. All right. Let's talk about, being cleared, for takeoff, and let's talk about the essence of what that really, really means, because we want to apply everything we say to real life. There is nothing mamby-pamby. There's nothing that is, just, I guess I should say, just I'm thinking that's the way it should be. No, this is actually what's happening. This is actually what's happening in your life. And now you're applying the things that you've learned to get over hurdles. So, which brings me to the topic today, clear the runway. I did a section. Yeah, I did a section in a guide that I have that's coming out soon, guys. I just actually got it, got the print work back on it. The digital print work back on it the other day. So just going through its process. But one of the processes in the workshop, one of the phases is clear to manifest, right? If you're clear to manifest, that means does it mean that you've gotten everything out of the way? There's no more junk on the runway. Your mind is completely clear. Everything is a perfect scenario. Mm-hmm. Does it mean that? Or clear to manifest, does it really mean that we've been clear to manifest since we opened our eyes on this earth, right? Because you hear Pam always say that, we're created for greatness, right? And I always say, no, I agree. We were all created for greatness, right? But some of us don't act like it, right? Some of us don't act like it. So in the beginning, we were cleared. You've been cleared to manifest. You just chose not to manifest. Right. So now some of you are saying, dang, I didn't know that I was cleared to manifest whatever God intended for me to do, for my uniqueness. I didn't know. So here I am now. I know that I have something on the inside of me that's special, that's different, from anybody else, something that I can only give to the world, right? So now what do I do?
Right.
How do I move from here? Because we know that when a person is confused, a confused mind does absolutely nothing, right? So you're saying, how do I move from here? Thinking about me, thinking about you. Now Pam can embrace the 50s. She is officially 53.
Oh, you got real jokes today.
50.
My husband has an awesome
51. She Pam wore her shirt today because she wants to remind me that
and I'm
you know,
proud.
she's 51. So you're half. Let me you know, I done pumped her up. Now let me go ahead on and punch her in the gut. You are halfway through your life.
Right.
And that's an eye opener, right?
Baby.
Right. See, she's gonna live to 100. I hope I live to 100, but I just want to be able to do things for myself at 100. But anyway,
right.
She's halfway through her life. And being halfway through your life, that means if you know you've been cleared to manifest, you may have just heard that right now, that I can act on the things that God put inside of me that are dormant right now. We're all created for greatness, but some of us just don't act like it. Some of us don't dip into and tap into the things that God has given us to do what he told us to do.
Absolutely.
So now, how do you clear yourself? How do you clear the runway to move forward?
Right. That's
now, I'm going to give you the answer to that, but I'll let Pam talk.
Well, you know, in order to clear the runway to move forward, you have to first identify what's in the way, what's on the runway that you got to move out the way, right? So, I mean, this is my personal opinion. So you have to be able to identify the things that's keeping you from taking off, you know? And the only way to identify the things that's keeping you from taking off, you have to spend that time with yourself. Right? You really have to, like we always say, take the time to look at that man in the mirror and allow yourself to be poured into, to listen to the voice of the Holy Spirit, and to be able to discern the things that need to get out of the way in order for you to take off. I could truly say that that's, you know, how you know, I began to really understand and to be able to really move forward with the confidence of knowing that there's certain things that I had to do in life in order to make sure that I was moving and operating in the purpose that God had for me. Realizing that, you know, hey, everybody's not understand it. People probably won't agree with it. People may not even support it. But, you know, at the end of the day, when you know that you're moving in the direction that God has called you to, and really what your purpose is, then you really don't concern yourself about that, because you know on the way and the journey that you have to take, He's got you, right? And so I could say that that's one of the things that I had to do in order to, you know, clear the runway. I had to, you know, first and foremost, identify what was in the way of me taking off. Right.
So we're halfway down into that thing, you know, in depth. So, you know, because we think about an airplane, and I was actually looking for something I wanted to share with you guys, because I'm going to take it deeper. I'm going to take it deeper than that for you guys, so y'all can really get this and understand exactly what you need to do. Grab your pen, grab your paper, because you guys are going to need to write this down, because I want you guys to really, really grab this part.
Taking off the next half of the year.
Yeah. Because this is getting ready to get bananas. But I'm gonna show you guys how to actually, here we go. I'm gonna show you guys how to actually do this thing. But when you do it, there's very little preparation now, and I'll tell you guys why. What I'm saying. So I want to go to this section. And I got so many things that God has really put in my, you know, in my spirit. Okay. Okay. So here it is. We talk about being cleared to manifest, right? And you've gone however many years in your life that you've gone, and you messed some stuff up.
Right.
I done missed some stuff,
Right.
right? I've missed some
Thank God
stuff.
for grace and
Yeah,
mercy.
grace and mercy is abundant, right? I missed some stuff. I didn't get some things. I jacked some stuff up royally, right? So now all of this stuff, this clutter is in our life that we've accumulated over 20 plus years, 30, 40, 50 years. And we just miraculously think that everything is just going to disappear. And it sounds good in theory.
Right.
Sounds good in theory, but it's not.
Right.
It's not just going to miraculously disappear. So the point is, at this stage in your life, you're going to have to take off against the wind, right? You can't wait for the perfect wind to come. You can't wait for the wind to stop. You're going to have to take off against the wind, right? So I'm going to read something for you guys, and is a part of it's actually a part of my lifestyle development program. I'm reading. I'm giving you guys sneak peeks on all my stuff now, right? So this is the takeoff. Yeah. This is the takeoff, right? When airplanes actually take off, they want to take off in the wind. They want to take off in directly in a headwind, right? And some of you are saying, why would they want to take off in the wind? It seems like it would be even harder for them to take off with the wind right there. But they take off in a headwind. I'm reading this to you. And it's directly from what happens with the aeronautical, right? In aeronautical, it's for pilots. The fast air bearing down on the plane generates an upward force on the wings, right? Analogous to a gun's recoil, right? That recoil, the pressure like that, right? Which helps lift the aircraft, right? Which helps lift the, let me read the first part of you guys again. The fast air bearing down on the plane, everything that you've done right now, right, generates an upward force on the wings, like a gun's recoil, which helps lift the aircraft. In short, pilots like to take off into the headwind because it helps them achieve wheels up faster, right? Wow. So I noted this analogy, guys, because you will be taking off against the wind. The wind represents the things that you will need to change. Breaking bad habits will allow you to achieve wheels up faster and recover your power to create and dominate, right? That's good. So the power that you're looking and waiting for the perfect moment for is already there, right? You just got to take off against the wind, right? And you got to take off against all odds. You can't wait for the perfect moment. You can't wait for the perfect time. It's not there. Can a pilot take off when there's not a headwind? Absolutely they can, but they want to achieve wheels up faster, right? It means how far do I have to go down this runway to get the right speed and to get the right pressure on the aircraft to get it up into the air, to get my wheels off the ground, right? So it's synonymous to everything that's happening to you in life. You're going to have to meet all of those things head on because you don't want those same things to circle back around and bite you in the butt, right? So if you're not willing to conquer it now, you just can't say clear this out of the way. No, now you got to face some things. Now you got to face all of the things that you've done in life. And now you're trying to take off. Now you got to figure out, okay, do I need to clear this thing or no, just start. Just start doing what you're doing. You're almost in the bull in the china shop phase of your life, right? You can't be walking around tiptoeing around all of the fine china in the china shop. Now, man, you just got to say, what? This is not where I want to be. This is not where I need to be. I'm a bull. I need to get out of here. And it's breakout time, right? So now it's time to take off in order for you to be cleared to manifest, which you've been cleared to manifest from the very, very start. From the very start. Now, all you have to do is say, I'm going to clear my runway by using the very things that have held me back all of this time for jet fuel, for wind, to press down on my wings, to actually move me into the air quicker, right? So guys, this is like, we talk about champions a lot on this show, and we talk about pain, and we talk about the journey not really getting started until the pain arrives, right? You know, and everything that we do is really centered around the lessons that we learn from the pain. It is. That we create
that we create,
or that we allow
in our
for ourselves. Right.
Free choice. That's
Right.
true. Everything is birthed out of pain. And so, therefore, the pain is necessary in order for us to have the fuel necessary in order to move ourselves forward.
Mhm.
And that's the reason why, we have that choice to be able to take out and step out and to do some things and to take risks and to fail sometimes.
Right.
But, we end up failing forward. In the midst of it, it doesn't feel like you're failing forward, but we really are, because we needed to go through that in order to be able to understand what we got on the inside of us for
Right.
real, to understand that is a part of the greatness, because nothing is that we go through, we can't get through. And so when we begin to realize that and recognize that, and now you learn through the process, through the journey, then, you now leverage that pain in order to thrust yourself forward. And that's so
Right.
true. And it's a matter of, but the thing is a lot of times we don't want to go through that pain, but that pain is necessary.
It's necessary. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
We have to go through certain things in order to now leverage that, because that's going to be the very thing that for real thrust us into the greatness, thrust us into our destiny,
Right.
thrust us into being able to connect with who we need to connect with, thrust us in order to get up every single day and to say that, no matter what, I'm not going to quit. It gives you this unstoppable mentality to where you begin to look at things differently. And when we begin to look at things differently, that's when the difference begins to happen in our lives.
Right. Right.
That's really
absolutely.
what it's all about.
Absolutely. And it's your identification and knowing. And guys, you have to really, this is all about your truth, right? We can listen to things and get ideas from it, but this is about your truth, right? What is true for you? What do you need to do? Because sometimes we can listen to other people tell us what we need to do. And we can most certainly tell you the general things that you need to do, but only the meticulous things, the fine print, the things that you need to do, which are typically, the things that you don't want to do are typically the things you want to do, right? So I want to give you guys something else, and what I've been developing here, guys, is really a lifestyle development program, and I really want you guys. I'm gonna give you guys a little piece of this thing, so that you understand how life really, really works, right? And I don't have it all figured out. And a lot of the things that I get, is me just making myself open, right, to receive. But here's what happens. I was telling Pam, I was getting ready to, now I'm gonna share with the world what I was getting ready to tell you.
I know what I already know,
this morning.
because
No, you don't. You know, but you don't.
What you're getting ready to say.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. So she may know. She may know me.
I've been married to the
Right.
man for 31 years. So go ahead.
Well, let me say this. So let me say it like this.
Go ahead.
Let me say it like this, because the truth of who I am and what I need is me, right? The truth of who Pam is and what Pam needs is her, right? So that's two different things, because we're two different people with two different thumbprints. Just because we got married don't mean we became the same person, right? So for me, on Tuesdays and Fridays specifically, and then there are other moments during the week that I need silence, right? And that's for me to get. I have to create that atmosphere. But on Tuesday mornings and Friday mornings in particular, because we're on the grind and those are the days that the grind come on, I love personal development. I love listening to people. I love people that are really uplifting, people that give me something more than just the topical stuff, right? But when when I want to get it straight from God, I don't need to hear anybody else, right? So
that's true. That works for me too.
Yeah. So when I'm coming on this show on Tuesday mornings,
basically I'm bothering them.
but you see, I'm gonna qualify it for you.
And I will have my. But you know what? I need some new headphones. Can you buy me some? I don't know. The kids took my AirPods.
I got you. But here's the thing. Here's
then
the thing.
You won't have to hear it, baby.
I think Christian took your headphones.
Yeah, well, they don't.
So I'll give you mine. All right. So but here's the thing. When I'm hearing, and you too, just apply this to your life. Maybe this worked for you, maybe you don't. But when God wants to speak to you, He wants to speak to you. Right. He doesn't want to speak to you through someone else all the time. Sometimes you get that. Like right now, I may be saying something, or Pam may be saying something that is really hitting home with someone. But the intricacies of how you need to apply what we are telling you to your life come from your direct connect. Absolutely. Right. There can be nothing in between. Right. So this is for you. It's like that old TV show, the Enterprise, Star Trek Enterprise, when I'm dating myself now with James T. Kirk.
Well, they know you're 54.
Right. They know I'm 57 and a half. Yeah. I'll be 77. I'm cool. I look good for a 77-year-old. So that old show called Star Trek Enterprise, right? When James T. Kirk and Spock and Bones on it, and they landed on this planet. Some of y'all gonna know what I'm talking about too. You're gonna tell your age. And the lady was green, and she would show up. Whenever she showed up, she was for one of them specifically, right? So she showed up, I am for you, James T. Kirk, right? And she wanted to touch him, because if she touched him, it would kill him. That's how she survived, by killing other people for touching him. Sci-fi stuff, but it's kind of real life, because sometimes somebody touch you and you die mentally, right? So that's a whole nother show. But when she figured out that she couldn't get him, they were protecting him, then she would disappear and come back. I am for you, Mr. Spock. And so they would protect him. So what's for you is for you. That's my point. Okay. So when I'm receiving, I don't want to hear anything that somebody else is saying, because I believe us as human beings, as sponges, we're going to hear the things that are around us with our ears, and and we're going to want to say those things or write those things down and make that a part of what we want to do for that day. But I believe in fresh manna from God. Right. Oh, yeah. Well, I believe that. I want God to, I know you do too. This is, I'm not saying that you don't. I'm not saying that you bother me. That's why I said this is my truth, and it's up to me to find a spot that I can get my truth in. Right. So it's not Pam is doing what Pam needs to do in her space. So I'm saying all of that to you guys. So to help you explain this. Anything that we say or anything that anybody else say to your life, it should just be topical, right? But how does it apply to you in detail, right? How do you get the true change? How do you really start the pain? Because change is pain, right? The journey doesn't begin until pain shows up, right? So the quicker we embrace that, the better off we'll be. So I want you guys to, if you have some pen and paper, and I know this isn't your ordinary blog talk radio show, podcast, or whatever you want to call it, right? Very interactive. There's a little bit of everything on this show. So unscripted. So if you have pen and paper, I want you to write the words D, the letters D, U, and then D, right? And then I'm gonna give you guys, I'm gonna show you guys, I'm gonna show you guys how not to be a dud, okay? Because there are a lot of duds. Oh yeah, we used to call them duds in the military, right? It would hit, the primer would hit the bullet, but then nothing happened, right? That's a dud. That's a dangerous round. You never know when it's going to explode. It can explode in somebody's face, but typically it remain dormant, right? So how do you not be a dud, right? So I'm going to show you how to discover, uncover, and dominate, right? Discover, uncover, and dominate, right? Because to be a dud in life means you did not even explore your purpose or what it takes to get there. Most people don't even know, because they've never spent that time, that direct connect is there. So how do you not be a dud, guys? You can be on social media. You can have 1 million followers. You can have, all kinds of stuff going on in your life, but still not be fulfilling your purpose.
That's true. You're right.
But it doesn't make you feel good. It doesn't make you feel good, and you don't feel you're helping people as a whole, right? The whole premise for this show is to help people not be a dud. Right. Don't be a dud. Right. So the discovery phase, and I just like the acronym DUD, right?
Like,
But now I'm gonna mess. Now I'm gonna mess the acronym up for y'all.
Like, some things you're good at, some things you
Some things you're good at, some things you suck at, right? So I'm gonna mess the acronym up for y'all now, right?
What
Because
my word was.
right. Yo, what was your word? Hey, I forgot it too. So I'm gonna mess the acronym up now, guys, and I'm gonna throw something else in there, right? So I want you to write something on an all serious tip. I just wanted to say the word "dud" to you guys, but DURD. So you can make that out whatever you want to make it. Don't be a dirt. I don't care. But so this is how God gave it to me. Okay, discover, uncover, and recover, right? And from there you dominate. So I'm gonna give you guys this little piece, and this is a part of if you guys ever see me doing this all the time, that's the 3%ers, and that's the 3% mind, body, and money. Mind, body, and money. Mind and spirits attached near together, but mind, body, and money. Mm-hmm. And if you think that money should not be a part of that equation, then try living without it. Right. So it ain't like something that you it ain't something that you have to have, but it's right up there with air, right? So gotta make sure you got a little bit of it at least, right? So the lifestyle development program that's you guys is basically the 3%ers program, right? Showing you how to tap into that, but it also has 5 different phases that you check in on to see where you stand. So that's all an interview process and things of that nature. So when this is launched, then it'll be totality of the process, and it's going to really set some people free, right? And then let's see what phase this is. This is toward. I'm gonna give you guys this is toward the end of the program. So the discovery phase, right? You guys wonder why we always call ourselves discovery coaches, right? Because I always say I'm not your mentor. I'm not a mentor. All right. No. I'm not I can say I never call myself coach. People call me that. People call Pam that. I never call myself that. Right. But the reality is, I believe that not everybody needs a mentor, but everybody needs a coach in life, right? Mm-hmm. Coach, get your elbow up, in order to hit the ball, you're going to have to swing through it. Keep your eye on the ball. This is what, put this together with this together, and boom. Mentors are a little different. Mentors, you have to let them completely into your life so they can see every facet of your life, and they can't help you unless they know what's behind the door as well. All right. So I don't see myself as a mentor, and I don't think Pam does either, because we've never been in anybody's life that intently, right? So the discovery phase, right? And I'm gonna read this directly from the course, guys. Discover your life up until this very moment is a direct product of your decisions thus far. It's time to stop and reassess your past decisions. I call this the discovery phase. Sometimes you need to back up in order to move forward. Amen. The deeper you dig the hole, the harder it is to get out. So stop digging. All right. So that's the first thing you got to work on, right? That's the discovery phase. Mm-hmm. Pam, can you read the uncover?
Absolutely. Phase? So then the uncover phase, here we will uncover the stumbling blocks that cause the course change. We will uncover the reasons why you made the decisions to move in the direction that you're going. A ship in the middle of the ocean needs to stay on course or will be lost at sea. The only means of doing that is a compass and autopilot. You have a compass, but unfortunately, you do not have autopilot. Your course corrections need to be real time. So you need to know your destination and be present and accountable in your own life. That's the uncover phase.
So to date, you haven't moved in real time. And some of you got this all figured out now. So I'm just preaching to the choir, right? But some of you understand what I'm saying, and you haven't been making those real time course adjustments, right? So now here you are lost at sea, and you're trying to figure out how I got lost first, right? Because you don't want to repeat the same mistake twice. So how did I get lost? So now you're going to uncover what that is so that you know what you messed up with the first time, right? Mm-hmm. So the recover phase. All right. You want to read that one too, Pam?
Now that we have identified the reasons for the variance in course, it's time to make the necessary corrections to get back on course. When everything seems to be going against you, remember that the airplane takes off against the wind. not with it. Henry Ford said that.
So all of this, the recovery phase now was for you to say, I know what I did wrong.
Right.
Right. I know I've discovered I've stopped digging. Right. I stopped digging. I put the shovel down. Right. So now I'm going to focus on getting myself out of what I'm in. So, and I think that's a big problem for most people is that they never really put the shovel down. Right. They tried to take one step forward, but they dig and they slide back down further than they were in because they won't put the shovel down, right? But the shovel is all of the things that you've been doing, the bad habits, right? All of these things that you've been doing to get you where you are, the reason why you're in the hole. So sometimes it's harder to get a person to put the shovel down,
right,
than it is to get them to take off against all odds, right? So put it down because you're programmed to dig that hole, and you're digging that hole because you don't want anybody to know that you're in there digging that hole, right? You're digging it and and let me relate what digging the hole really means, right? You know, you can't afford the car. You know, you can't afford the house. You know, you can't afford the clothes. You know, you can't afford to be eating out as much as you're eating out. You know you can't afford to be going and doing the things that you're doing, right? You know you can't afford it, but you don't want the people on the outside to know.
Dang, we've been there.
Yeah.
We've been there, done that.
Yeah.
And we had to make a decision to put down the shovel. For real, because we was digging holes big time and couldn't climb out. And that was the reason why, you know, honestly, you think about it, every repossession, nobody came and took our vehicle. We gave it back. Okay?
We didn't want to come into the house.
Right. Well, no, but we gave it back. We got ourselves in a position to where we was like, listen, this is nonsense. This is craziness. This is stressful for no reason. So every single vehicle that we repossession, they were all voluntary because we realized that we dug the hole and that we were continuing to dig the hole. So we was like, here, take it back. We'll figure it out from that point forward, you know, like real talk. And that last time, that's when we made a decision. That's when Nate made a decision, never. And that's when I made the decision, never again, because to see you literally take and sell the vehicle, that wasn't a repossession. That one was one that we had enough money to put into it because we had the ups and the downs. We weren't always in hard times, and we literally had almost paid cash for that Escalade, and that was the only thing that we had that had some equity, right? That was the only thing that we could get some money, and we needed some money. We needed it fast, so we had to make a decision. And literally, I'll never forget that day when Nate had to go, and we together came to this decision, and he sold the vehicle, and we were so broke, like seriously. Nate walked home from CarMax, walked home. We didn't even have no money for him to take a taxi, okay? And so, but we had to realize that we was digging this hole, and that our kids didn't deserve it, okay? And that they deserve to, you know, to be able to eat every night, all right? And for the lights to stay on and us not to be stressed about, okay, are they gonna cut the lights off? It just was craziness. But we had to put that shovel down. Right?
Yeah, you put it down. You let some things go in order to receive some things that you need. What you let go in the beginning is going to feel like it's like you're losing a lot. But in essence, what you're gaining is some sanity. You're gaining some breathing room.
Yeah.
You're allowing yourself to do all of the things that you can do to help yourself out of this situation. Right. So, you know, now that, you know, you've discovered what the issue is, right? You've uncovered the problem. And so now you're in that thing where I got to correct my course. I got to start going the right way, irregardless of who on the outside is telling you, no, I need you to come this way. You know, come on, you know, we're going shopping. We're going shopping. You know, I know you like to go shopping down at such and such. And you be like, nah, last time I went there, I spent $500. You know, I ain't got that kind of money right now.
Right.
So you make that decision that says either I'm going to go or I'm not going to go. So these are the small course corrections that you make real time, right? Not until you walk back in and pick the shovel up again, and you know when you're picking it up because you get home and you're like, I couldn't even afford to do this. Sometimes you're in the store like, I can't afford to do this, but you don't want them to know that you can't afford to do it.
Right.
So you don't even deal with your own truth. Your truth is worth you actually recognizing and understanding what it is. So now you recover, you're uncovering, now you're recovering, right? So you're in a recovery phase, you're making the necessary corrections to get back on course, guys. And once you do that, now when you're making those corrections, you're going to be taken off against the wind, because all of the adversity that you've built up to date, the people, places, and things that you've been doing, it's still going to be there. Still going to be there. So now you have to take off against the wind, irregardless of what you've done, because you've lost half of your life. Half of your life is gone. 30 years of your life is gone. And if you look at the life expectancy of the average human being, tell you, like my dad tell me, my dad calls me up, I'd be like, stop, Dad, stop saying that, you know, because my dad would call me up. He said, yeah. He said, boy, I got about a good, 15 more years. And I'm like, Pop, stop quantifying it like that, but in essence, yeah, right. Right. But in essence, he's telling the truth when you think about it, right? But he's dealing with his truth. He knows that, I can say I want to live 100 and I can speak it out of my mind, but unless I take care of my body, and my last name is Moses, I may not live to be 100. You know what I'm saying? So because I ain't been eating grass all my life and vegetables and eating good. So, some things may be going on the inside I don't know about yet, right? So in essence, guys, now we've uncovered, right? We've backed up and discovered. Now we've uncovered the things that we know we've been doing wrong. And now we start making those course directions at that very point. Right. At that very point, take off against the wind right now. And now you can start seeing the things that you've done that you're saying, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not doing that. All of this is no, no, no. Yes, no, no, no. Yes. And you're taking off against the wind and you're getting higher and higher. And the only way I know to really dominate is by rising as high as you can rise. But here's the opposition. Here's the opposition. The people that you are rising in front of, they don't quite understand your ascension, right? They don't understand it because they still have an average mindset. And their average mindset says, try to pull them back down. Try to tell them you ain't keeping it real. You changing. You're doing this. You're doing that. When you understand what this is, then it's easier to keep rising. And I was telling Pam the other day, I'll say this, you don't mind, because she don't never know what I'm gonna say. Right. She be look, let me tell you something. I am the type person. Awesome wife. I do. I have an awesome wife. But I'm the type person that I'm gonna be laser focused.
Reason why I wore this shirt today.
Right. I want to, and I'm not perfect, and I miss it sometimes, and I have to get some compassion tips from Pam sometimes, right? But I've gotten better, but I'm very focused on what I'm doing, and I don't want to let anybody deter me, right? So I'm not going to detour on what I'm doing because it makes somebody else feel good, right? So everything that Pam and I have been through in life, we've been married for 31 years now, right? Over the course of 31 years, plus the 20 years that we've been in existence before that, we've gone through a lot, just like you guys have. We worked our butts off to get where we are, right? So, we still work, right? Because we have, higher heights. But my time is super valuable, right? And I know that, and that's confidence. My time is valuable, so I'm not going to let anybody squander my time, right? So I want to deal with people that are ready. I want to deal with people that say, I may not have it all figured out, but I'm ready to change. I don't want to have to convince you that you should be ready to change, right? So the way I look at it is I tell Pam all the time, see, when I use the term multimillionaire, it has more so to do with the pain and the journey, the mental aspect, than it does the money, right? I know that I'm a multimillionaire. I know that I am. Right. I don't need anybody to tell me. I know that. And that's because of the fight that we've had. Right. But Pam sometimes operates like she doesn't know that she's called to rise very, very high. So she sometimes stays here too long. Right. And because Pam has a big heart. Right. And her heart is so big, sometimes it keeps her grounded. And some of you are saying right now, oh, she's a giver. She loves everybody. Oh, Pam is so nice. Pam is super nice. What's one of the qualities that Pam has that I marry her? I have an awesome wife, right? But Pam
has an awesome wife.
But Pam is called. Pam is called to rise, and this is not just us, guys. Apply this to your life. You are called to rise as high as you can rise, because the higher you rise, the more people you can help. Right. The higher you rise, the brighter your light shines. The higher you rise, the more people can see you. But it's about rising the right way. With humility, with character, with integrity, with understanding that it's confidence. I know who I am. I know what my purpose is. I want more people to be able to see that. So I am not going to keep backing up and slowing down for the people that are intent on walking, for the people that are intent on crawling. And some of you, if that rubs you the wrong way, then you are a crawler. You are a walker. Because for the runners, me saying that, they were like, shoot, I'm a runner.
Absolutely.
I'm running with you. You want people that are going to run the race with you, not grab onto your shirt and hold you back. And some of that leadership 101, guys, tell you this is one of the first things that you're taught. Okay. And this ain't somebody telling you should, this is in here. God has called you to rise as high as you can rise. Let your light so shine so that all men may see. Right? It didn't say some, all. So that means how high can I go? Mm-hmm. How can I do this the right way? So to make sure that I feel good about what I'm doing, because you're never going to please everybody.
Right.
You can be the most character oriented, principle oriented. You could be the most straight and stalwart person in the world. Somebody is always going to hate what you're doing.
Absolutely. That's true. And, and that's good. And I can receive that from my husband. And like I said, God will give you exactly what you need, because, he does pour into me in that way, and really just helping me to remember, because sometimes, in the midst of it, you can not really understand, who you are and what you really have, because it's just ordinary to you.
Because you want to help everybody. Right. It's the Jesus mentality. It's the Jesus mentality.
And really helped me to remember. And I thank God for that, so I can receive from my husband, in that way.
I don't get it right away. Sometimes I tell Pam stuff. I have an awesome wife. I tell Pam stuff sometimes, and Pam will get real. I know. But guess what? When I make her mad, later on, she comes back to me. She say, You're right. You're right. And but it's that. Here's the thing about that. It's Pam hears my voice all the time. Right. And when I tell Pam stuff, it doesn't reign as supreme as it may if somebody else says it. And that we're not above that. That's normal for people, period. Right. But we have to, like Pam, for me, when I look at Pam, I don't care who. When I listen to Pam, when I look at her, I don't care how many doctorates you got, how many seminars and seminaries you've been to. I don't care how many degrees you got. There is nobody when they pick up the mic that sounds as good as my wife, right? Nobody to me, because when you're in a relationship, guys, when you're in a relationship, you have to know how to first and foremost edify one another. Right. Absolutely. So I was put here to edify Pam. Right. So there is no woman that can get on stage. Michelle Obama can get on stage and start talking. And I'm like, my wife can do that. My wife sounds just as good, if not better. Right. And I want her to know that. Right. But Pam also knows I'm not the person that's going to give false accolades either. No. Right. Mm-hmm. I'm not giving you credit where credit is not due. Right. So if you're not doing it, I'm not going to say you're doing it, because that's called hurting your future. Absolutely. Right. I'm sparing your feelings so that's right. So, right. And I'm hurting your future. Mm-hmm. And some of you are guilty of this. Some of you don't want people to tell you the things that are absolute truths in your life that you're not applying. Mm-hmm. Relative is your life. Relative truth is what you apply to your life that applies to you. Absolute truth is absolute truth. It's truth, period. Right? Nobody can change it. There are no variations. There are no dips in the road. It's truth.
Right.
So, but some of you don't want that. And people like me, when I'm telling you absolute truths, and then you can take those absolute truths and apply them to your life the way that you need to apply them, that only you know, then you get further in life. Right. I don't have it all figured out. Right? I can only tell you what I have, what I've gotten and what I've been through. Right. And that's it. And I never tell anybody anything different. So when I see Pam, and I know Pam has the potential for her light to shine so much brighter and higher. Yeah, sometimes it's disheartening for me, because I know that on a mass scale, people would typically tend to be takers, and they don't know that they're taken, right? They don't know that they're taken. They don't know that it's not just one of them. They don't know that it's 1,000 of them, right? And everybody wants at that moment. But Pam is more so in tune to helping people. But my thing with Pam that I teach Pam now, I said, we've been talking about this for a minute, and Pam has gotten a lot better at it because of the pain. Remember, the journey doesn't start until the pain arrives, right? The pain. If you teach a man to fish, he will eat for a lifetime, right? You can't bait the hook for him and then cast it out and then pull the fish in. He's just gonna be sitting back like, waiting for them to come and feed me. No, this is not how this works. And the people that don't understand this concept are the walkers and the crawlers that I'm talking about. Right. So when you become unreachable and unattainable, right, now you're no longer baiting the hook and casting it out, then guess what? Self-preservation kicks in. Either they're going to find somebody else to feed them and hand feed them, or either they're going to start fishing for themselves.
Right. Which is the goal.
Learn
how to fish for themselves.
Anything other than that is enabling.
Yeah, it's enabling. You're right. And again, you're not teaching a person to understand the value that they have on the inside of them, and that, you know what, they can figure it out, that you got the power to accomplish it too. You got the power to get it done. You got the power to say, you know, should I do this or should I not? Like, seriously. And you're right. Otherwise, you're enabling them, just like you said, and it decreases growth.
Yes. It stunts it. It stunts it. It puts you into that. It puts you into mediocrity. Mediocrity neuralizes. Mediocrity neuralizes your creativity. It neuralizes everything that you're doing. You just become average, and mediocrity is a disease. Right. And if you're not ready to start running in life, if you're not ready to start running in life, then you can't expect anybody else to be there. Right. It's when you hear it, do you apply it? Right. And a lot of the reasons why people don't apply is because of fear. The fear of the unknown. They're afraid of what other people will think. But when you get into that mode in life to where your confidence gets so high and you're not afraid of what anybody thinks, because your creative space is here and it's yours to create in. And when you start creating in it, it gives you confidence. Then you're not concerned about what goes on the outside. And it's almost like the noise on the outside. You really don't hear it anymore because you are so focused on what you're doing. And it doesn't matter because you know where God has taken you and what he's called you to do. And you know the people he's called you to help. You know you can't save everybody, but you can help anybody that comes in your path that God puts there. So you understand all of this. And when you do understand it is when you start making the corrections, those course corrections, the little things that you didn't want to do. Who am I hanging out with? Where am I hanging out? What am I listening to? What am I telling people? What words are coming out of my mouth? What am I wearing? How am I showing up in the world? How am I affecting people when I do this, that, and the other? All of these things you start taking into consideration because you become one mass momentum of purpose all by yourself. And we keep talking about the phrase that keeps coming to mind, Pam, day after day after day for me is E times A equals E. Right. E times A equals E. Energy times atmosphere equals environment. Right. Absolutely. That phrase keeps coming to mind and I cannot shake it. Right. So it's a part of everything that I do. So if you guys understand what's being said here on the show, clear to manifest you, clear the runway. There is no such thing as a clear runway.
No.
Use the things that have held you down right now as fuel. Use them as a headwind to get more air under your wings. Identify them, know what they are, so that you never, ever have to go through what you just went through. And once you get to the course that you're supposed to be on, make those minor corrections, right? It's just like a little tail rotor. Make sure that it's real-time corrections. And at that point is when you start dominating in your own space.
That's that deep. Dominate. Oh, that's awesome. That's amazing. Discover, uncover, recover to dominate. I love it. You know.
So we also do. I know we're doing some personal development a little later today.
Right,
what time is that?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I think it's at 7. Eastern?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. We will be in the
It's another. Okay, so we'll be doing something. We may talk about another aspect of this whole thing as well. So it just depends. We don't know. But anyway,
figure it out. Right.
Man, we really appreciate you guys.
Yes, absolutely.
Hanging out with us for a while. All the amazing comments that you guys are putting on, man. It really does bless our heart to see you guys on and participating and supporting this dream, helping us make history right here on the show, man. A lot of you guys are faithful listeners. And we really appreciate the fact that you guys show up week after week, and you support us, and you take these nuggets and not only hear them, but you actually take them and apply them to your lives. Because it really does bless us when we see people prospering, mentally, physically, and financially as well. All right.
Right. Absolutely. So that's it. So we appreciate you again, and join us back. Definitely. All of our Blog Talk listeners, we appreciate you for dialing in. And just know that if you missed any portion of the grind today or any of the episodes, go back to blogtalkradio.com/the grind 101. We have hundreds of episodes, right? That you literally could go back and check out and definitely listen to. But other than that, join us back on Friday, right? As we are into Freedom Friday. We're into another month, holiday weekend coming up. And July is here. And so, it's time for us to, for real, clear the runway and get ourselves into gear, get ourselves into position in order to fly high. So join us back.
Oh, the new
Friday at
on Friday. Yeah, the new IAO logo is coming out on Friday.
Really? The new IAO
logo? New IAO logo. Gear. The gear is coming out. My man just called me up and said he got the website. But I guess got to tweak it a little bit more.
My gear coming out too.
Yeah, you have some IO gear. I don't know about your stuff. But
all right, appreciate y'all.
Yeah, the brand new logo launch is Friday.
Right,
so
absolutely. Love y'all.
Yeah.
On Friday.
So guys, the brand new logo launch is on Friday's show. So make sure you tune in. So you guys see that. We'll also release where you guys can actually go and purchase the gear and the whole 9. Very, very sexy logo, very sexy gear. So, man, make sure you guys tune in for that. But, man, God bless you guys, man. We love you.
Yes,
thank you for being a part of the grind, man. And we absolutely want you to look up to God and say, God, did I do a good job? Am I doing a good job? And he most certainly is going to hear you say, he's going to say, well done.
I want to see him look upon his face. Then I sing forever of his saving grace. On the streets of glory, let me lift my voice.
Love y'all, man. Thank y'all so much. Y'all awesome. One time. Well Oh, y'all like this cup? This is my new Ember cup. Keeps my coffee hot the whole time. Y'all should check this out. I actually just bought Pam one. She don't know it yet.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
One time.
you say, one time. All I wanna do is be saying, got a name in the book, call me one time. That's all I really need, just one time. I can't wait to see you. I wanna wake up in my heavenly home. All my people bow down to the King on the throne. Hold up, wait a minute.
God bless y'all, man. Y'all have a great day. Y'all go out, man. Y'all be champions. Immerse yourself in the pain. Use it. Let it build you. Let it grow you. Don't run from it, man. That's where you're going to get your grind at. That's going to get your traction in, man. God bless y'all. I'll see you guys on Friday.